The RAM Dilemma. Unlocking your computer's potential in 2025 and beyond. The world of technology is ever evolving, and so are the demands on our computers. As we approach 2025, the question of how much RAM your PC needs is more relevant than ever. But here's the catch. The answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. Let's dive into this memory conundrum and explore what the experts have to say. According to a Windows and Mac expert, RAM is the key to a computer's speed and optimal performance. The standard for PCs and laptops has now shifted to 16 gigabytes of RAM. But is that enough? Well, it depends. When shopping for a computer, it's crucial to consider the performance trifecta: processor, storage drive, and RAM. Each component plays a vital role, with RAM acting as the computer's short-term memory. Instead of saving data directly to the SSD, RAM temporarily stores files for quicker access, boosting performance. And the more RAM you have, the more memory your computer can utilize. But how much RAM is necessary? For Windows users, 16 gigabytes has become the operational minimum for new consumer laptops. However, this might only be sufficient for basic tasks like emailing, web browsing, and streaming videos. And this is where it gets interesting. The average user often has multiple browser tabs, background apps, and maybe even generative AI running simultaneously, all of which require substantial memory. So, for a seamless experience, 16 gigabytes is the recommended baseline for Windows laptops, especially for work purposes. Microsoft suggests that Windows 11 can run on as little as 4 gigabytes of RAM, but our expert advises sticking with 16 gigabytes as a minimum. When it comes to MacBooks, Apple's optimized systems mean that 8 gigabytes of RAM can go a long way. The new MacBook Air M4 starts at 16 gigabytes, but older models with 8 gigabytes are still capable daily drivers. More powerful MacBooks like the Pro and Pro Max offer up to 36 gigabytes of RAM, making them some of the most robust and expensive laptops available. Now let's talk about Chromebooks. With their lightweight Chrome OS, these laptops can perform well with just 8 gigabytes of RAM or even less. This efficiency makes them excellent for basic tasks and accessing Google Suite applications. However, the trade-off is a limited selection of apps compared to Windows. Here's a crucial point. While more RAM generally means better performance, it's possible to have too much of a good thing. Investing in excessive RAM may not provide a good return, as you might not fully utilize it. It's a delicate balance between future-proofing your device and being practical. When buying a laptop, it's essential to understand your intended use. This clarity will help you determine the right amount of RAM. For gamers and creative professionals, 32 gigabytes of RAM is a wise choice, ensuring smooth gameplay and efficient video editing. For those with heavy workloads, even more RAM might be beneficial, but 48 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes is typically overkill unless you're editing 8K videos or running multiple resource-intensive applications simultaneously. As a seasoned tech writer, I've experienced various work environments and tested numerous laptops. The advice I offer is not rigid but rather a starting point. The best setup for you depends on your specific needs and preferences. So, how much RAM do you think you need for your dream machine? Share your thoughts and let's spark a conversation about the perfect balance of RAM for different users.